What is gerrymandering? When did it start? And most importantly, why should it matter to you? Let's go into a brief history lesson. The year is 1812, and Massachusetts Governor Elbridge Gerry signed a bill to allow the redrawing electoral district lines into abnormal shapes based on the representation of its population. He said the bill was highly disagreeable and a misuse of power, but signed it anyway. This allowed sitting politicians to redraw lines that split up citizens so that their party was always the majority. The first representation of this was in the Boston Gazette, when artist Gilbert Stewart saw the red-drawn electoral district map and noticed an unusual shape. He compared the odd shape to a salamander, and thus the combination of Elbridge Gerry's last name and the mythical creature created the title, Gerrymandering. So why does this 2-century-old practice matter to you? Well, you see, it is still in use today. Wisconsin, North Carolina, Louisiana, and Maryland are all states that have been brought in front of the Supreme Court because of their unethical gerrymandering districts. Look at this image of congressional maps in Louisiana, for example. The image on the right is what nonpartisan legislators drew to depict political parties in the state. However, the image on the left is what sitting Republican lawmakers drew to serve in the 2016 election. Let's hop into the 2018 midterm election in Georgia. Of the 14 congressional districts, 3 are usually considered Democratic, whereas 10 are Republican, and 1 district is sometimes a swing vote. Based on historical statistics, the likelihood that a district will be represented by the opposite party than assigned is almost 0%. 9 of the 14 districts are within 30 miles of the dead center of Atlanta. This, however, makes sense, as about 8 million of the Georgia's citizens live within the Atlanta metro area. Here's where it starts to get a little confusing. Of these 9 districts, only 3, 13, 5, and 4, are considered to have a majority Democratic residents, according to the map. This doesn't quite represent the population of this area. Of the 8 million people in these districts, about 44.67% consider themselves to be Democratic, and the other 51.98% are Republican. If this is the case, why is it that the majority Democratic areas are represented in only 3 districts in the entire state if they make up almost half of the area's population? No one has a straight answer to this.
No, I do not believe that we've had gerrymandering in the state of Georgia. If it gets out of hand, perhaps we should look at it. But no, at this point, I don't think it's out of hand in Georgia at all.
So I definitely think that gerrymandering is a issue here in Georgia, especially with things such as gentrification going on. We see like the Renew Atlanta signs all around the city, and so I think that gerrymandering is definitely a problem because I feel like that our congressional districts are trying to split up different groups of people.
When asked for a comment, the current U.S. Representative for District 1, Buddy Carter, said, "I think the recent change of heart within the citizens of Savannah has more to do with the people becoming more conservative in their views. I don't think it has anything to do with misrepresentation. Savannah has a history of Democratic leaders, but over the last 10 years, Republicans have really stepped up. There have been 3 attempts over the last 12 years to add a congressional district to incorporating the population of Savannah. Each effort has been outvoted by the Republican representatives. Hopefully, in the near future, there will be an accurate portrayal of residents within a district, regardless of the existing political party. If you feel that you are being underrepresented by your congressional lines, reach out to your congressman or woman. Ask them the hard questions. Demand to have your voice heard."